Hi, everyone. So hopefully, I'm going to share with you a case study that we've done at New Day, where we've driven digital adoption. But it will actually align very well to both James and Amy's talks. On James's 5 points, we have, by the end, embedded those 4 first points. And our culture at New Day is all about the 5th point, health and well-being. It's absolutely embedded in our culture. So first of all, just a quick bit about my company, so you wonder who's New Day, not Who Day. So New Day is one of the largest providers of consumer credit in the UK, and we serve close to 5 million customers. And 1 in 6 of our credit cards issued in the UK are by New Day. And we process 146 million transactions. And if you don't know us, we've got 2 portfolios, direct to customer, which is Aqua, you'll have seen on the TV, and more recently, you'll have seen our new cardless credit, which is BIP, and you might see those all around the underground and in London. We also partner with leading brands, so we do credit cards with Amazon and with Argos, and we do finance with AO. And we have a new platform for the smaller retailers called Deco. So this is to enable them to have finance very quickly, but then they become part of a larger network, so they can actually use that credit in all of those merchants. So digital adoption, there's no single magic wand, okay? There's a number of things. And, it's not just about technology. It's not just about, moving certain things. You've got to do a number of things to drive it. And I'm going to take on a bit of a journey from 2018 very briefly to show you how we've done it. And I hope that those tips will help you. So the first thing I did when I came in and I started our transformation is I absolutely set my team up with the right mindset, and it's so important. They need to think prevention, and prevention is not about blocking. This is not about stopping customers getting through. And I have to say, I have an irritation following COVID where companies used that when they had to at the very beginning, but still use that excuse to just block customers and thinking they're creating they're reducing their contacts. But all they're doing is spinning a lot of confused and angry customers. And it's not true prevention. Prevention is about understanding what confusion is happening and understanding what's broken and then going out and fixing it. Then automate and use automation through the bots and through digital solutions. So, we've done the sort of RPA piece. We're now moving on to looking at our end-to-end solution and automating in a digital way within that as well. So understand what are the simple processes, what are those processes that you can absolutely automate. Then understand your customers, what do they want to do? And they mainly want to self-serve. So where it's obviously a process that you can put self-serve online, either in the IVR, we've done a lot of work with Sabio supporting us through all of our automation within our IVR, through the mobile app, then drive self-service. And then if you are going to react to it, then react to it in an efficient way. So we started back in about 2018, and what we saw was we move at great pace in New Day, and we're very proud of that. We do things very, very quickly. And we were a large financial services company with a bit of tech, and we definitely wanted to move and have moved towards the fintech space. So this is absolutely where we want to be. So we've actually brought in a lot of the sort of knowledge ourselves. And we realized that we had to move at pace. And to do that, we couldn't be working in a waterfall environment where there's great big dumps of change every quarter or something like that. So we wanted to move to Agile, lots of sprints, little and often, and keep moving things. Because things change so quickly that if you're waiting for a great big thing that you started working on 3 months ago, by the time it comes out, it's probably quite different, the need you have. So then we did the big pull strategy, and we had to bring customers to our online services. So we created our own online web and mobile app. And we needed to create features that made them want to go there. So what were all those things? So we analyzed all the contacts, we understood what customers were contacting, and we started building these features online. Now, initially, we were behind the curve in the app. And we were just sort of coming up to basic standard, starting to build things to bring us up to basic standard. But now we're quite leading edge, and certainly in the collections environment where we're doing things around income and expenditure as well. We really pushed for mobile app first. We recognized that mobile was going to not only drive ease and frictionless, But also, very important, it was going to be able to give us, we'd be able to target, use push notifications, and longer term, do things like geolocation. So we'd really understand that mobile app was the way we wanted to go, although we carried on developing the web, because there was a portion of customers, they needed the web as well. Obviously, we ensured regulatory compliance. We launched paperless initiatives, so we started doing the e-statements and the e-letters. And more recently now, we do digital PIN. So you get your PIN by finding it in the app, which takes the customer to online as well. Very important you keep a track of your measures, so you baseline, and you look at what are your measures of success in a digital adoption. We have a number of those, and we track those and ensure that we've seen the improvement as we go. And really important is using insight, and I'm going to talk about that at the end. You know, that's been an award-winning thing for us in terms of really gathering insight from multiple sources and feeding that back into the business. Really turning customer feedback into actionable outcomes and fixing things that matter for the customers. And now we've iterated that, and that's gone into our EIRP, so it's our issue resolution program. And then awareness campaigns. These campaigns aren't just marketing campaigns. They're telling the customer why they should be online, where they're going to do things better, paying faster, things like that. Then we spent the time going the push, so making sure our customers went to the web. And that was the piece where we'd done a lot of our customer service features. We then had to actually make a lot more automation through our IVR, through sending customers online. One of our ideas that we do every year is a great big hackathon, and this is across the business. We have people from any area. One of my associates went to it recently because, of course, they talk to the customers every day. And they basically have 8 solutions. They come up with 8 problem statements, and they make that happen, and they actually create a live solution in a week. And it's so exciting, and everyone gets involved, and we then roll those out to all customers. The pandemic, we heard this earlier. It absolutely was a key sort of moving point for the digital adoption. So 2 great things came out of what was a terrible pandemic. Home working, which I'm sure we can all agree. In a financial services world, if I wanted to homework, I would have had taken probably 2-3 years with everyone watching what I did, and I'd have been allowed to have 5 people at home. They'd all have been monitored. And then overnight, 100% working from home. And we were in a great place because we were able to give laptops. We had just launched Teams, thank goodness, and we were able to roll out, and we worked very, very well. And it did work. But the other thing is digital adoption. So we were able to say to our customers initially, you need to go online to do the basic transactions because we have to be here for the vulnerable customers, the complex queries, and also to ensure that we're there for payment holidays and things like that. So it really helped us continue what we'd already started by asking our associates to ask customers to go online to do basic transactions. It's important you look at the metrics that you're measuring your people on. We measure very much around the customer satisfaction experience. So we don't measure AHT. I always say it's the hold is your knowledge and the wrap is your efficiency, and let the talk time take care of itself. But also we needed to give them measures and things where we targeted them, like, you know, you shouldn't be processing payments, you should be sending it. At this stage, we were pushing customers online, but you'll see how we've moved on from there. Preventing channel switch, so we started to really introduce a lot around chat, because if they were online, we wanted to keep them having a chat and stay online rather than calling into the centre. And the focus on ease of access. Frictionless journeys was really key to us, but also the authentication. And if anyone's in the financial services world, I'm sure the PSD2 word is very clear to you, or the Payment Services Directive. We've had to go through a lot around authentication that's brought friction back into the journey. So we needed ways of doing a really frictionless journey where we could. And the mobile app creates that by having the biometrics in there as well. What is absolutely key is it's all very well sending your customers online, but then if your app or your online starts crashing, then they will be reverting back to the phone. So you do need to focus on system availability as well, making sure you're up. And we also did a lot of work around scaling rapidly by using APIs. I would say at the beginning, we probably had APIs with just a big load of data. Now we're creating those APIs that are much more focused around what we need for the customer experience, which is quite good. And that's how we're building our single pane of glass and also our web and app platforms. and think about what the customer's going to contact about, preempt it, and obviously proactively alert and communicate where possible. So basic stuff there. But it brings us on to the piece that I was talking about where we've seen the real change. So we've recognized that the mix has absolutely changed, and we now see the complex queries, the vulnerable queries, but more important, the need for digital assistance, and we've talked about that today. So the customers, if you get people going online, then you absolutely have to, and I believe as a constant, be there to support them with digital assistance. So if their biometrics are knocked out or if their passcode's locked, there's no point just blocking them and saying, sorry, you're online now, carry on. You've got to help them. So we've actually started with the trial last March, and it's been extremely successful. And this is to bring in our digital coordinators, and I'll talk more about those in a moment. But this is where they actually coach and guide the customer how to do it online. They don't do it for them and then say, now go on and do it yourself next time. They actually will walk through those steps with them. We recruited and enabled capable people with empathy. Our business is so stressful at times, because if you imagine the financial services world, in our portfolio direct customer, we have what sometimes customers will have a second chance at credit. So they'll have a low credit line and they'll grow. And something like £5 might feed their family. So they'll have conversations with people where it's extremely stressful if things go wrong. So they have to have that empathy. But we also wanted technical skills. So I'll talk about that in a minute. We looked at a range of skills we wanted to bring in to help these people, and great customer service. And we also use these people because so often we would be great at getting the information of why a customer's calling in, but getting examples was always an issue. And so actually we brought in people that were used to doing things like triage, diagnostics, what's going on, thinking it through, and capturing examples to feed back into the business so we could go and fix it. And we really see the voice channel as a great channel. It's certainly not going away for us. We will always have this ability to sort of do this digital assistance and really add value to conversations. And one of the ways we've also focused on getting people to digitally adopt is when they opened an account, we used to say, right, open account, thanks very much, now go away. Oh, and by the way, can you come back and register for online? We're now creating journeys that are where we call it born digital. So they're actually opening their account and they're going right the way through the process, registering at that time, and then they're online.